Hiki hikitia, ria ria kina. Hapa hapa inga, rangatahi. Te hoku take take o tōku a wahatanga. Mauri tu, mauri tangata, tihei mauri ora.
Nau mai, haere mai, and welcome to Rāngai, our beautiful studio here in Turanga-nui-a-kiwa, Gisborne. My name is Tāngata, and we're with Chris Shotton today, the curator of the current art exhibition at the Gisborne Museum. And the name of that art exhibition is A Circle in a Square. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good.
Nice.
Good to be back again after a year away.
Yep. Yeah, I just saw that interview we did with you before.
Yep, that was the first exhibition that we did at the museum for Pride Month.
Yeah. It's come full circle. It's been a year
full
almost.
Circle, a full year. And so we'll do it again next year as well.
Yep,
we've
already got you booked in.
Yep.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about this exhibition.
So this exhibition, at the end of the one last year, we got to about April, May, and it was time to discuss what we were going to do for the new exhibition. And there was a lot of talk about mental health coming through. During that period, there was a lot of talk about suicide, and obviously rainbow youth and LGBTQI plus being visible in the community. So I had to think about it, and the person that came to mind was my nephew-in-law, who kind of incorporates a lot of that through his art. So I contacted him and had a talk to him about it, and to see what he thought about discussing, his mental health issues coming out, etc., how he interprets that through art. So after a couple of months, he agreed that he would do it. So then, working with Eloise and Jolene at the museum, we finally got it put together. So they gave me the title of curator, which I really didn't understand, to be perfectly honest. Basically, it's it's me gathering all the information to give to them. So all they have to do is literally put it on the wall, get certain things put together. So everything that you see is from the artist, or the words that you read depicting each picture is from the artist himself. How he was feeling at that time, what he was going through mentally, whether it was the mental health issues or whether it was coming to terms with his own identity as a gay male.
So this artist, is he local?
Yes.
Ryan Ledger?
He is.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have a bit of a video from the exhibition, just to show the audience. Let's play it.
Great.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa, ngā mihi nui kia koutou katoa. Nau mai, hara mai ki te wharitong o te Tairāwhiti. Warmest welcomes to you all to Tairāwhiti Museum this evening. It's lovely to see all of your happy faces as we celebrate Pride, Aotearoa Pride Month 2023, and we are so excited to be holding the second in our exhibition series after an amazing exhibition last year, and this exhibition full of amazing artworks by Ryan Ledger. And I do want to acknowledge Ryan for your generosity, your willingness to share your story with us in your hometown, and I know there's going to be so many people in our community who are going to be so excited to see your artwork here at the museum, so thank you.
Cool, welcome back. We are very honoured to have Ryan Ledger himself join us via Zoom. Ryan, how are you?
Hi, I'm really good. Yeah.
Good to see you, mate. Where are you right now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, where are you?
I'm in Perth.
Oh, okay. What are you doing in Perth?
Over in Australia. Yes. Yes. In the far distant desert.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty sunny here too. Is it hot over there?
Yeah, it's a dry heat, as they say.
Yeah.
It's not as humid as New Zealand. But over here, I'm doing civil construction in the mines, and with hopes to do health and safety,
Cool.
which is my ultimate goal. Yeah.
Tell us, bro, how do you connect back to Gizzy?
Well, I was born and raised in Gisborne, and yeah, I learnt. I honed my art skills at Gisborne Boys High, and then moved away to Hamilton to study media arts, and finished my degree, and had quite a crash slash realization of more identity issues, as how I identify myself and how do I express myself and how do I fit into the world. And that's where I used art to sort of help me. Yeah, because it's a very straight world, straight white man's world, and I didn't think I fitted into it. So yeah.
How do you use art to help you feel more at peace and in tune with yourself?
Through imagery, and I find it easier to talk once I draw a picture about it. Yeah, and I use the alien theme as connotation, symbolism for feeling alienated and isolated within the world, and not fitting in, into the surrounding. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard. I tautoko you along your journey, my bro. We saw Chris sent through some of your graphic designs specifically for the alien style stuff, and there was one that I really enjoyed. I can't fully remember what it was, but he's telling me that you are thinking of printing them on shirts.
Oh yes, I did that during lockdown. I did that while I was coming off my medication, because it was just interfering with my sleep. I was sleeping too much. It just it wasn't the right medication, I don't think. I'm not too sure. I still don't really know my diagnosis. But it was ultimately depression, major depression. But then I got over that through, I think, helping myself with art. Where were we going? Sorry, I get distracted.
Yeah, that's fine. Just talking a little bit about your mental health, my bro. And just in general, it's such a good topic to explore for the community. How has art or your art guided you and helped you along that journey with your mental health?
That's a good question. I feel more accepted, because people appreciate the art that I do and they can relate to it. And then, so if I can see that someone relates to my pictures or something, or gets what I'm feeling, then I feel more accepted.
Wow. There was something interesting that Chris shared with me a couple of days ago. I don't know if you remember, Chris, but you do a type of art piece, and you kind of you're open to interpretations from the audience, and you actually really like that that people would interpret it a different kind of way.
Yeah. I did. There's how do I explain it? There is a meditation technique called I am. So you think about the things that you are, or you can relate to things. Yeah. How do I explain it? So with the idea of Christianity and stuff, and like sin and everything, like I am God, but like if I'm made in God's image, then I am God. Like that, you don't. I don't think I'm God. Like, but you're made in His image, so then it's okay to be you. And so it makes you feel more at ease that you're not going to burn into an abyss
Wow.
after you die. That's what I think.
That's very profound, my friend. Actually, it's nice that you brought that painting up, because that was one I really noticed as well. And it does say "I am God" in big letters, but it also like that might take the attention straight away. But it also has qualities as well, laced in between, and
like so. Every different culture interprets color differently, which I find is interesting. Like the Japanese interpret color differently, so that's why their meaning and symbolism is different to ours. So I put the colors on there, and what do I think they meant?
It's trying to find on that particular painting that you were talking about, "I am God." You have to look quite closely at it to identify the words that are in the background as well, which is kind of quite deep about the whole God thing as well. You have to look deep into who is God, what is God to you as a person as well. And in some ways, "I am God" is a little bit of a contradiction of "I am in the image of God." Well, if I'm the image of God, why am I gay? Because apparently I shouldn't be gay, because it goes against nature and the teachings of the Bible. So why am I in the image of God the way I am? And you end up, if you have mental health issues, battling that whole concept as well.
Because every gay pride, there's always that conversation. And it's annoying. Like we're just there having a good time, talking to each other, and then you got some Bible basher or something, and it ruins the mood.
Yeah, a big part of community life, I think, and what a lot of people forget is that, we all kind of one. We all one. We all experience the same challenges, different challenges, but we all kind of spiritual beings, I would say, kind of learning and growing and loving and being kind and stuff. So a lot of people forget that, and they hate on each other. It sucks.
One of the interesting pictures that you did was that very first one. So when Ryan sent me all the information and the dialogue that went with each picture, which I sent through to you, and I was going through it, it kind of, as much as I read it and I looked at the pictures, and I've seen obviously some of the pictures at home, at his brother's house and his parents' house, they didn't really resonate with me. But once I started to see the pictures, the paintings in the exhibition and in the order that they were done, you kind of get a whole new feeling for how somebody's feeling at that time. And that very first painting, which is very dark, and you ripped it, when I first saw that, and I saw the cuts that you had done in it, my immediate reaction was, oh, what the heck was going on in that brain of yours? How mixed up was it? But then when you sit in the exhibition, and if you sit in the centre of the exhibition on the table, the chair, and you take it all in and you look around, and Eloise, the director of the museum, made a comment when her and I were sitting there together looking at it, how it's interesting to be inside somebody's brain. And I think when you look at it that way, you are sitting inside somebody's brain. And so you go from this very deep, dark, ripped, black and grey painting that kind of goes, whoa, what the hell is going on? And then you go full circle through the exhibition to the certain points and pictures that you've done, the paintings that you've done. Then you get to the very last one. It's as if you've been reborn through that painting. It's like that hallelujah moment.
Yeah. I've actually got a playlist that I listen to. Like when I paint, I listen to music.
That's right.
And so that's also a therapy. Songs can connect you to things. Like, how do I explain it? When you listen to music, you kind of think of things, scenarios in your head, do you? Like,
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
yeah, like you think about your life sometimes when you listen to music and you can relate to it. And that's what I find. And so I listen to music and then I paint and then I talk about what I do, yeah, afterwards. And I find that quite therapeutic to do as a release to tell my story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's called Circle the Square, the playlist on Spotify, so you can listen to it and yeah, listen to music that I listen to. Yeah.
Wow, that's almost like next level art exhibition. You got your own headphones as well. You got
multi-dimensional, yeah. So while you're in the exhibition, you can listen to the playlist. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, Siren Jam going past. Yeah, just looking at your art as a whole, my friend, there is quite a range of art styles and colours. What inspires the diversity in style for you?
The flicking of the paint was because essentially you're painting with gravity if you want to overthink it. You know, flicking it, I find that quite interesting, like how, because I just threw it on there. I just flicked the paintbrush on and like, oh, that's kind of cool, like how gravity's doing the painting for me. And then, you know, I was sort of, I don't know, the graffiti pens were for, how do I explain it? Doing hip hop, you know, because there's graffiti everywhere and everyone draws everything, you know, tagging. So that's why I use the graffiti pens.
Wow. Way to mix it up.
Yeah. Then spray paint as well. Then just the standard paints. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, moving on to the next question. I think art is supposed to make people feel a type of way or be inspired or to learn something or to understand something a little bit differently. What would you hope to share with the world through your mahi?
Well, art is to create a conversation. So just to create a conversation about how people identify. Not like how people feel more than identify, like gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender. Those are whole separate issues in general, but we need to have a conversation about it and how isolated they feel in the world, because a lot of the LGBTQI+ community have drug addictions, and mostly that is because they don't feel represented in the world, and that's a fact. And if you can create the conversation and identify the issues and how they feel, then maybe you can make the world a better place.
Sometimes one of those issues, though, is not an issue as you would perceive it as an issue, but general public, if I put it that way. So if you take the rugby player that just came out, the All Black rugby player, I think to myself, great time to come out, but why would you come out at the height of your career in the All Blacks to put yourself in the firing line of all the abuse that you would go through just based on your sexuality? So in some ways, the issue is not about you, but it's the public's general perception of the rainbow community, LGBTQI+ people. So that conversation is, it's not us, it's your interpretation of us, and why do you interpret us to be so different to you at the end of the day? Because we're actually not. We still go about life on a day-to-day basis. Unfortunately, a lot of us try to hide ourselves because of that. And we wear a mask and we try to hide ourselves in any way possible by moving to a big city, etc., because we can hide in the big city. But there comes a point where that becomes all-consuming within yourself as well, which then brings on those mental health issues that some people have, which then brings on the high rate of suicide within the community as well, and the drug addiction, because you try to find an out for it, unless you're one of those very lucky people that has a great support system, a great family, that ultimately don't really care about those things. They just want you to be you.
Yeah, I'm very lucky to have a very good supporting like family, like Chris, and everyone's very understanding of the issues that I've gone through with my life. Yeah, I did used to make music videos and stuff, but I really did not feel represented within what I was making, and it made me very depressed and isolated within my peers, and I just had to get out of it. Yeah.
I guess that word isolated and isolation is probably one of the key words within the community, because you are kind of, there's the big world out there, but you're here trying to get there, but you can't, because you're constantly fighting against that perception of the community that you belong to.
And that bubble painting, that was representative of like how I'm in my own world. Well, I'm trapped in a bubble, and I don't feel as though I can reach out to anyone. So yeah. Ironically, we all ended up in a bubble.
Yeah.
It's quite nice stepping out of the bubble.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
It takes a bit of courage, eh? A bit of courage.
Yeah, it does, because you're actually really putting yourself out there, your full self, making yourself vulnerable to the world, making yourself vulnerable to the people that really matter to you. And not just for yourself, but also what are they going to go through as well? Because it's not just us on the journey, it's your immediate family as well, and the impact that it has on them. And for European people, it quite possibly might be a bit easier, but when you get into the different races and cultures and religions, that adds on top of the isolation as well, because you have to deal with your community beliefs, so you're fighting that as well. You're fighting your own religious beliefs, and everything else that comes with that as well. But then you step out and you're glorious.
Yeah.
Yeah, just thinking about all of those things. How are you now, bro?
I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
Over the moon. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
Up in space.
My partner, yeah. He's like, you're over the moon all week, like just like in my own head, like just it's always got a smile on my face, because I felt as though I've been heard. And Eddie's family is like really supportive. He's from Malaysia, and his family's really welcoming of me. I've been invited to a wedding, a Muslim wedding, and I'm going back to another one for his uncle or something. So I feel accepted in their family, and it's been great. Yeah,
we're very happy for you. What's next for your artistic journey?
So I'm working in the mines, and it's a great way to get some capital behind you for some other projects. And my ultimate goal would be to make a movie, probably LGBTQI plus themed. I'm just learning, and I'm going to do mental health, health and safety in the civil construction, because suicide rates are also high within construction, the industry. And I would like to help out somewhere, because I've always been quite an empathetic person.
Wow.
And I'd like to, help someone out that's going through issues. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ryan, for joining in all the way over in Perth, far as away.
Thank you for having me. It's quite nice to be back home.
Yeah, hard out. we're really happy and grateful to have your mahi showcased locally here in Gizzy, in your hometown as well.
Yeah, it's an honour.
Is your family still around here?
Oh, they're all there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oosh,
Yeah.
I'm sure they were at the opening.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, I
Mean.
saw them. It was really humbling to see them or support me.
Oh, good on
They
you.
had no choice.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Well, your artwork is, you see the beauty in it. You see the transformation that you've gone through in your art and also your own journey as well.
Yes.
It's quite a nice experience.
Mm-hmm.
So we wish you the very best in your future endeavours and your film.
Yeah.
Let us know how that goes. We've got a couple cameras here.
Won't be for a couple of years.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
you know,
By then,
yeah.
hopefully, we'll be on films too. So there's
That's
I can
good.
point to 3 cameras
Oh.
right now we could use.
It's really crazy. Over in Perth, a person from Grey's Anatomy ended up in Perth while lockdown, and she fell in love with a man from Perth, and she started talking to the Hollywood studios and stuff, and they're going to make a film studio over in Perth because it's so the geological place.
Yep.
It's a vast land, excellent for different movie sets, and you have access to all the different countries around. And yeah, so hopefully I can work on that later. I'm not too sure.
Oh.
They're building it at the moment, and that's in 25.
Yeah.
That they are going to build it. Yeah.
Set
Oh, no,
those
it's
intentions,
gonna
eh,
be
bro?
made, yeah.
Set those intentions out there and see what happens.
Yep. Manifest.
Manifest it. Just rock up. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
film the next Mad Max over there.
Yeah.
God, you two are getting deep.
I know that's full of desert and stuff.
Yeah. I had no idea that Heath Ledger was
Whananga
From
of Eels. Yep, got it.
and
It's in your
everyone's
blood.
like, "Oh, you Heath Ledger's cousin?" I was like, "Oh no, no idea." Yeah,
All right, Ryan. Thanks for having you, man, in the studio.
all good.
Peace.
See ya.
Thank you. See ya. Bye.
Back to you, Chris. How
Yes.
long is the exhibition able to be seen?
So that runs until the 19th of March, so about 6 weeks.
Cool.
So it's quite a long run. And the reason for that is the flags that have been put up in Tairāwhiti have been sponsored by Census New Zealand.
Yep.
So because that's running through for the whole census period through to the middle of March, they wanted the exhibition to run till then as well,
Wow.
which is really great.
Yep.
So, you know, it's great to have census behind everything as well. The more people that obviously fill in the form, the better it is for the community as a whole. And that's not a plug for Census New Zealand, that's just, it's a fact. If you don't fill in the form, then you don't get identified within the community at the end of the day. So, you know, it comes down to funding, and they're also identifying this year people from the LGBTQI+ community as well. So if you want to identify as gay or transgender, etc., then you've got a tick box now. So it's important that, you know, people get out there and fill in those forms. Otherwise, you're not going to be seen or heard.
Wow. All right. Yeah, we live streamed that launch of that Pride Week, so
Oh, yeah.
you'll be able to see it on Rāngai.
Yeah.
There's a flag for every street light, I think.
I
Almost.
I think it runs from the clock down to the police station.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Oosh. Yeah, moving over. What even is an art curator?
Me.
Yeah. Nice.
Somebody that kind of gets roped into it and puts it together. It's quite interesting to do, gathering all the information, making sure that everything you've got kind of makes sense and has a flow-on effect and is talking to the subject that it's about. So, you know, as much as it's about the rainbow community, because of Pride Month in New Zealand, it also incorporates those mental health issues and suicide and drug, etc. So it kind of brings it all together to help people through any of those identity problems.
Wow.
Yep.
Awesome.
And kind of makes them, you know, you can go there and look through the room at the art and it might resonate with you, and it could lead on to you getting help from another organisation like Here For You within Gisborne. Yeah.
Cool. So ngā mihi, Chris, and thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All good, anytime. Oh, actually, this time next year.
See you then.
Yeah. Yeah, and thank you for holding space for creativity for some of our maybe not so represented members.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So yeah, He Tangata, it's a rangatahi talk show about the people of Te Tairāwhiti.
Yep.
So ngā mihi nui to all, everybody involved today, you and to Ryan and our staff in the control room. Don't forget to subscribe. Have you subscribed?
Yes.
Ryan, have you
I did.
subscribed?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to check that one. And yeah, he ha te mea nui o te ao, he tangata, he tangata, he tangata. Bye.
Tukuna te wairua kia rere ki ngā taumata, kia arahi i a mātou mahi. Me tā mātou whai i ngā tikanga a rātou mā. Kia mau, kia ita, kia korea e ngaro. Kia pupuri, kia whakamaua, kia tīnā, tīnā. Haumie, hui e, tāiki e.